Hello friends, today we learn about numerical problems based on law of conservation of momentum. The momentum of a body is P equal to mv. Let's read the problem slowly. There are two football players who have a head-on collision. They grab each other's uniform. Player 1 has a mass of 80 kg and is moving with a velocity of 3 meters per second. So, mass 1 of player 1 is 80 kg. The initial velocity with which he is moving is 3 meters per second. Let's say this is player 1. And you have another player, player 2, who is having a mass of 70 kg. He is moving in the opposite direction with the velocity of 2.5 meters per second. That means this player is moving towards player 1. This is before collision. Now, the mass of the second player, M2, is 70 kg. The velocity with which the second player is moving is 2.5 meters per second. Let's find the initial momentum of each of the players before collision. P1, the momentum of the first player, is M1 U1, that is 80 times 3, that will be equal to 240 kilogram meter per second. And the initial momentum of the second player is M2U2. This is 70 times 2.5. That is equal to 175 kilogram meter per second. The second player is moving towards the first player, so the velocity is going to be opposite, so it will be P1 minus P2. So that's going to be M1U1 minus M2U2. So that is 240 minus 175. So the sum of the initial momentums is equal to 65 kilogram meter per second. Now, they collide with each other. What happens after collision? When they collide with each other, they both are going to be at the same position, and now their velocities is going to be the same. So, the final velocity V1 of the first player will be equal to the final velocity V2 of the first player. Let that be equal to V. This is on collision. Now, so what do we have? M1V plus M2V. That's the final momentums of both of these. That is going to be, so the mass, it's nothing but M1 plus M2 times V equal to P. M1 plus M2 is 70 plus 80 times V, that is 150 V. According to law of conservation of momentum, it is the initial momentum, the sum of the initial momentum is equal to the sum of the final momentums. So 65 is equal to 150 V. We have to solve for V. So 65 divided by 150 is equal to V. V is equal to, if you just calculate it, that comes out to be 0.433 meter per second. This is the final velocity of the players. Let's go to the next problem. The problem says a dog which is 15 kg jumps out of a boat which is 40 kg in mass. The velocity of the dog is 1.2 meter per second. We have to find with what velocity the boat is moving backward. So it's something like this. Previously, the dog is in the boat and the mass of the dog MD is 15 kg. The mass of the boat MB is 40 kg. The boat is at rest, so the velocity of the dog, initial velocity of the dog is UD is 0 and the initial velocity of the boat UB is 0. So the initial momentum in this case, momentum of the dog is MD times UD is 0. The initial momentum of the boat is MB times UB is 0. So the sum of the initial momentum of the system PD plus PB is equal to 0. Now once the dog comes out of the boat will move in the backward direction. The dog has jumped out. The mass of the dog MD is 15 kg. The velocity with which, the final velocity with which it has jumped out is 1.2 meter per second. We have to find out the final velocity of the boat. So in this case, the final momentum of the dog is MD VD, that is 15 multiplied by 1.2. That is equal to 18 kg meter per second, and the final momentum of the boat is MB VB, which is 40 times VB. The sum of the momentums are MD UB plus MB UB, initial momentum, sum of the initial momentums is equal to the sum of the final momentums, MD VD plus MB VB. 0 is equal to 18 plus 40 VB. We take the 18 to the other side, that becomes a negative 18 equal to 40 VB. 40 is multiplied with the velocity. So when it goes to the other side, it is divided. Negative 18 divided by 40 is equal to VB. If we solve it, that gives us 0.45 meter per second. The negative sign shows that the boat is moving in the opposite direction from where the dog jumps out. So the velocity with which the boat is moving backward is 0.45 meter per second. Let us move to the next problem. Here we are talking about two grocery carts. They collide with each other. One cart is full. The mass of the cart is 35 kg. It is moving to the right at 2 meter per second. Let's draw this picture. This is cart 1. It's moving to the right. The mass is M1 is 35 kg and the velocity V1 is 2 meter per second. We have another cart which is empty. The mass of the empty cart is 10 kg. It is moving left at 3 meter per second. So let's try to draw that. This is cart 2. It is moving towards the left. Mass to M2 is 10 kg and it is moving left 3 meter per second. Okay, I'm sorry. This is going to be the initial velocity U2 and the initial velocity U1. So the initial momentum of the first cart P1 is M1 U1 that is equal to 35 times 2 equals 70 kilogram meter per second. And the initial momentum of the second cart P2 is M2 U2 that is 10 into 3, 30 kilogram meter per second. The second cart is moving in the opposite direction. So the initial momentum of the system will be P1 minus P2, which is 70 minus 30, that is 40 kilogram meter per second. Now, let's go to the next part wherein the carts collide, and after collision we have to find the velocity of the empty cart. After collision, the full cart is moving to the right at 0.75 meter per second. Let's draw the situation. They have collided. And now the second is moving towards the left and the first is moving again towards the right. The velocity, final velocity V1 is 0.75 meter per second. The mass is the same, 35 kg. The mass of this is 10 kg. We have to find the final velocity of the empty cart after collision. So, the momentum of this is M2 V2 is equal to 10 V2. The momentum of the full cart is M1 V1 is 35 times 0.75, that is 26.25 kilogram meter per second. So the final momentums, sum of the final momentums is 10 V2 plus 26.25. According to law of conservation of momentum, the initial momentum of the system will be equal to the final momentum of the system. We equate both of them. 40 is equal to 10 V2 plus 26.25. When we solve it, 26.25 goes to the other side. 40 minus 26.25 is 13.5 equals 10 V2. So, V2 is equal to 13.75 divided by 10. V2 is equal to 1.375 meter per second. I hope you enjoyed the video. Please visit our website www.educators@par.com. Thank you.